I'm excited to have our next guest in here, Susan Norman, author of the book Risk. You are a whitewater rafter competitor.
And kayaker.
And kayaker, okay,
Yeah.
a little combination of those, but you
Yeah.
wrote a book called Risk. What inspired you to write the book?
Well, it was a project I wanted to take on after I retired.
Okay.
And then it took a life of its own.
Okay, and it's a bit of a memoir. Can you give a little teaser about the book?
Yeah, so the book describes my lifelong connection with rivers and whitewater paddling.
Okay.
And I was a member of the U.S. team in both slalom kayaking as well as on a women's team in extreme whitewater rafting competition. But the book is also about events later in my life when I was thrown into unexpected motherhood, adopting my 4-year-old nephew when I was 56.
Okay.
And we both came from experiences dealing with childhood trauma.
Oh, wow,
So the bigger theme in my book is about the power of an outdoor adventure to build the resilience to deal with unexpected challenges in life, like childhood trauma, which I call bad risk.
Oh,
With
okay.
outdoor adventure being good risk.
Oh, nice. And you equate the two. Was it when you stepped into motherhood that you really started to deep dive with that? It's quite a comparison. I mean, if you really think about, of course, our childhood trauma, the trauma that we experience, and of course the chosen risk,
Right.
of course, that you take. And how do you equate those two?
Well, more I talk about how they relate and how the steps that you use to prepare yourself to be a high-level athlete and a competitor in extreme sport, you can use those same kind of steps to deal with things like childhood trauma.
Oh, wow.
And those steps include the good hard work to build skills, working with expert coaches, building teams and community, and finally, always using your failures as a learning opportunity.
Oh, amen. We should have you have motivation on Monday. This is exactly my wheelhouse. I love this, which you describe as bad risk. You know, how to use those tools, those skills that you've developed. Now, did you have a lot of coaching? Do you apply that with regard to trauma, those things that you've learned as a coach and as an athlete?
No, I used coaches to learn my sport because you can't learn skills for a high-level sport on your own.
No.
You have to work in teams, you have to work with coaches. Same thing with dealing with your own trauma or parenting a child who's been affected.
Yes.
So I sought counselors both through county services and particularly the schools.
Okay.
I had excellent resources and I couldn't have done it without it.
And this sounds like a wonderful resource to equate those two, to kind of build that bridge to trauma and of course the resilience that you've discovered as an athlete.
Yes.
That's beautiful. And motherhood has really opened your eyes in that regard. How's that relationship changed?
Well, it's changed because me and my son, who is now 15, have grown so much, and we've learned how to deal with our vulnerabilities. We're both always still learning. It's a lifetime journey, but I'm impressed with both of our abilities to be able to. We still have a lot of challenges in life and interacting with each other, but we know how to deal with those much better.
Wonderful, that beautiful. And I know you got a couple of appearances. Just before we go, can you share people where they can meet you, maybe the book signing, two specific locations?
So you can purchase the book in Truckee and in South Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
And South Lake Tahoe's at Cup of Tahoe, and I'll be doing an event there, Cup of Tahoe Bookstore, on June 26th at 7 o'clock. And then in Truckee, the book can be purchased at Word After Word bookstore, and I'll be doing an event there on July 15th at Alibi Ale Works at 5:30.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you, for writing it and sharing this message. I think it's a very valuable message people need to know. Susan Norman right here, Risk, a life saved by the river. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
All right, go out, go see Susan. If you got some deep questions, this is something certainly you can deep dive into a little bit more.